Warm welcome to you, dear viewers of Burundi Television. We apologize for the delay. It is due to technical problem. Let's go straight with the headlines. Burundi head of state Evariste Ndayishimiye is live this Tuesday in Washington District Center, where he will attend the historic peace agreement between Rwanda and Congo, scheduled on 4th of December 2025 under the guidance of the American President Donald Trump. In the ambassador of Pakistan to Burundi, Nim Khan, was received in audience this Wednesday by the Minister of Communication and Media, Gabi Bugaga. The discussions focused on strengthening relations. The ambassador also praised his country's desire to contribute to the media sector, trade, education, and health. Welcome back, I'm Mr. Kamkama. Details now. Burundi head of state Evariste Ndayishimiye has arrived this Tuesday in Washington District Center, where he will attend the historic peace agreement between Rwanda and Congo, scheduled on 4th of December 2025 under the guidance of the American President Donald Trump. Details with Gato Gordien on the behalf of Jonas Dikumuremi, National TV Special Envoy in Washington, D.C.
The head of state, Evariste Ndayishimiye, arrived in Washington DC at 1:30 p.m. local time, that is 8:30 p.m. Gitega time. He will attend the signing ceremonies of the historic peace agreement between the DRC and Rwanda, scheduled this Thursday in Washington under the leadership of the American President Donald Trump. President Evariste Ndayishimiye is responding to the invitation of his American counterpart. The peace agreement concluded between the two Great Lakes countries at the end of June 2025 aims to put an end to the war in eastern DRC, a region that has been the scene of armed conflict for decades. Violence has intensified in this region with the takeover of certain cities such as Goma by the M23 backed by Rwanda. The regional community has continually called for dialogue during the 2025 New Year's exchange between the presidential couple and the diplomatic and consular corps, as well as international organizations accredited to Burundi. President Evariste Ndayishimiye called on the international community to support all initiatives aimed at the immediate cessation of the war in eastern DRC.
The College of Surgeons of East, Central and Southern Africa has already trained over 1,000 specialist surgeons since its conception. This was announced at the annual general meeting held this Wednesday in Bujumbura. The Vice President, Prosper Bazombanza, who opened that meeting, called on the college members to continue training specialist surgeons as their numbers remain insufficient given the number of people requiring their services. Premier Mugabe Nihera has more.
Among achievements of COSECA, there is a training of practitioners, both those working in rural areas and those working in cities. More than 1,000 people so far trained in the framework of 12 programs of surgical trainings, and more than 6,000 surgical operations were carried out. The chairperson of COSECA indicated that this year the number of people trained mounted.
Annual intake has grown from 300 to 420 trainees this year. Over 6,995, 475 surgical procedures were performed by our trainees. These are real lives saved and transformed. The cumulative milestone as of today, we have graduated 1,183 surgeons have graduated from the time COSECA was formed.
On her turn, Lidwine Baradahana, Burundian Minister of Health, the step taken is big, but there are still some weaknesses in the sector that need to be addressed. She called on COSECA leaders to increase the number of Burundians who are trained, as so far only 15 Burundian specialists were trained. Vice President Prosper Bazombanza called on college members to emphasize education, collaboration in experience sharing and trainings in order to clear the gap of insufficient number of surgeons both in the region and in Burundi. COSECSA offers trainings in several specialties including general surgery, pediatric surgery, orthopedics, pediatric orthopedics, neurosurgery, plastic surgery, urology, and cardiothoracic surgery. The conference has been an opportunity of granting awards to laureates who were trained.
On Tuesday, the Ministry of Justice officially launched the virtual criminal hearings, allowing the detainees to be tried from their place of incarceration using new technologies. The Minister of Justice indicated that this system will help reduce the prison population. The initiative was launched at the High Court of Kayanza in the province of Butanyerera. Gordiga Tugato once again.
Virtual criminal hearings were held in the High Court of Kayanza, Chibitoke, Karusi and Changuzo using modern technology. The individuals whose cases were being held remained in the main penitentiary facilities of Ngozi, Mhimba, Gitega and Ruyigi. During the hearings, magistrates sat in their respective courts while the detainees appeared from the detention facilities where they are held. This new system for conducting criminal hearings was established by the Ministry of Justice, Human Rights and Gender with the support from the United Nations Development Programme UNDP. The use of this technology, which enables detainees to be tried without leaving their places of incarceration, complies fully with all legal standards governing the conduct of criminal proceedings. At the official launch of the virtual criminal hearings, the Minister of Justice stated that this innovation will help reduce the number of detainees awaiting trials as well as the cost associated with transferring prisoners, since they can now be heard regardless of where they are located. Concerning worries about possible power cuts and weak internet connectivity during the hearings, the minister explained that UNDP will provide solar-powered equipment to ensure continuity of operations. Regarding internet, he announced that the government is doing its best to resolve this issue and that an agreement has already been reached with a company responsible for supplying high-speed connectivity. For her part, the UNDP representative in Burundi welcomed the launch of this initiative, describing it as a major step forward in strengthening the judicial system as it will ensure equitable access to justice for all. She also promised that UNDP will continue to provide support to strengthen the capacities of actors in the justice sector to ensure optimal use of this new system. The event took place in the presence of the Prosecutor General of the Republic, senior officials of the Ministry of Justice, and the President of the High Court.
The ambassador of Pakistan to Burundi, Nim Khan, was received in audience this Wednesday by the Minister of Communication and Media, Gabi Bugaga. The discussions focused on strengthening relations. The ambassador also preached his country's desire to contribute to the media sector, trade, education and health. Please follow Ambassador Nim Khan.
We discussed that there is a need of communication and media cooperation between Pakistan and Burundi. Pakistan is a country of 250 million people in South Asia, and Pakistan is a big market for Burundian products like tea, coffee, avocado, because we do not grow these crops ourselves. And there is a huge need of Burundian tea, coffee and avocado, minerals, lentils, pulses, beans in Pakistan. Pakistan is importing these products from other countries, even from Australia, Canada and other faraway countries. So why not we import it from Burundi? And there is a need of direct communication between the Pakistani importers and Burundian exporters so that we can bring Burundian products to Pakistan directly without intermediaries. Another area which is very important, that is about the journalism, media cooperation. Pakistan news are not appearing so much in Burundian media. Similarly, Burundi media needs presence in Pakistani media. So we will discuss that in future. We can have a media conference in Pakistan where we will invite Burundian journalists and media experts. They can come to Pakistan, they can tell about Burundi to Pakistanis, and then Pakistani media people, they can come here to Burundi and they also talk about Pakistan to Burundians, so that our relationship in the media cooperation, and also this is the mass communication times in the world. Social media is highly important, so that we also show the progress of Burundi, because personally as an ambassador I am reading Burundian progress in different media sources, and the new policies and which the government is now introducing to solve the problems in a real way, to understand a problem and then suggest the solution to that problem. So this is a very good governance model for the world, for all the developing countries of the world, that Burundi is now targeting the problem, understanding the problem, and then solving the problem. So this governance model should be told to Pakistanis through media channels, so that we can have better understanding. Another thing is that Pakistani Association in Burundi and the Pakistan Embassy, and I as an ambassador of Burundi from Pakistan, we are bringing health project like modern laboratories and then modern hospitals, and similarly agriculture cooperation. We want Pakistani flexible tractors here, which can go to the hills, which can go to the small areas, and very cheap, very economical tractors, threshers, harvesters, so that Burundian farmers, they have agriculture machinery in their hands.
All Burundians who have created the works of their own intelligence are urged to protect their works with the relevant institutions. This appeal was launched on Tuesday by the Director in charge of intellectual property protection during a meeting bringing together small and medium-sized enterprises and the representative of the World Intellectual Property Organization. Marius Migwe has more.
This was a meeting organized by the World Intellectual Property Organization, headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, in collaboration with the Ministry in charge of industry. The attendance encouraged industrialists and anyone who has created or in the process of creating a work to protect it. The Director of Intellectual Property pointed out that without protection, others can claim the creations or produce similar copies without the consent of the original creators. He therefore urged producers to secure their inventions. The assistant to the Minister of Energy, Mining, Trade and Industry emphasized that this awareness-raising effort targeting small and medium-sized enterprises is a real asset for the economic development. However, if someone owns an invention and fails to exploit it for more than 3 years, investors may be authorized to make use of it through agreements. In this way, the partnership becomes a win-win situation for the inventor, the investor, and the country.
The 65th annual general meeting of the Inter-African Coffee Organization, which opened Tuesday in Bujumbura, concluded this Wednesday. On the sidelines of this meeting, the handover ceremony of the ICO presidency took place between Burundi, the outgoing president, and Cameroon, the new president. Jivan Ndayishimiye was there.
These were the official handover ceremonies of the presidency of the Inter-African Coffee Organization between Burundi, the outgoing president, and Cameroon, the incoming president. The minister in charge of trade, Hassan Kibeya, recorded that Burundi marked its mandate by setting up a platform to monitor producers in order to strengthen traceability, promote local coffee processing, as well as research, innovation, and new techniques to boost production. He assured that Burundi remains committed to supporting member countries. The Director General of ODECA stated that Burundi gained several benefits from this presidency, including experience sharing, training on coffee processing, and exposure to new technologies. Corso mentioned that Burundi benefited from receiving coffee processing equipment. Representing Cameroon, Michael Domping assured that his country will support the General Secretariat in raising Yako to greater heights. He also pointed out that despite the challenges posed by the European Union's regulation on deforestation, his country remains confident that together they will overcome them. The Secretary General Solomon Rutega congratulated Burundi for the achievements made and for the successful organization of this General Assembly.
Thank you for organizing a very first-class General Assembly. I would like to thank the government of Burundi. I would like to thank the Minister, Rutega, and all those who have played a very important role in organizing.
In total, 14 out of the 25 member countries were present.
Well, this is the end of this English news edition. Thank you for your attention. Have a good time.